I was listening to a book today called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's by Dr. Stephen Covey. And in that book, he shares a quote from Einstein that basically says you cannot create or you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. And that really struck me as I'm thinking more about Rocket League and esports and people improving and the mindset behind it. Obviously, Einstein was a scientist, he was not a Rocket League player. And I feel that this statement holds true for all problems, not just in science or anything. So when I hear that you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it, I look at that as ranked or improving at the game of Rocket League. You cannot surpass a rank with the same mind that got you there. So when you hit a new rank, you're all of a sudden going to have to think of the game differently than you did to get out of that rank. Whatever got you to that rank is not what is going to get you out of that rank. You can't think about the game the same way. You can't look at the game the same way. You have to learn new abilities and look at it differently. And sometimes I think that happens naturally as people are just naturally progressing through the game. And I think sometimes people think that just because they get to a rank and continue to play games, they're going to continue to improve and rank up. And eventually, you hit a plateau and your thinking stays the same because you're not naturally progressing, you're not learning anything new. And that's where the frustration sets in, that's where the burnout sets in, because people want to continue to improve, but if you're not actually doing anything to improve, then you won't improve. As you're growing up and you start naturally progressing, you roll over as a baby, and then you learn how to sit up, and then you learn how to crawl, and then you learn how to stand up, you learn how to walk, and then you learn how to run. Those are all natural progressions that just happen throughout life for the majority of people. But then, if you want to get faster at running or walking or whatever it might be, you have to start putting in some work. You have to start looking at things differently if you want to continue to improve. And I think that is what really is needed for Rocket League players. If you get to a certain point and you stall and you want to continue to improve, you have to have a different mind than what got you there, which means working, which means watching replays, which means finding a coach, which it could be anything. It really just comes down to finding a different way to think about the game, finding a different way to learn about the game, finding a different way to progress in the game, or progress at all, so that you can continue to improve. So, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you don't know what to do or you don't know where to go, how can you change your mind to solve the problem that you have? What can you do differently to get you out of the place that you are? Because what got you to where you're at isn't what is going to get you out of where you're at.